Welcome. Today we will review employee GMP and safety training. This presentation will cover food safety and quality, good manufacturing practices, HACCP, allergen awareness, safety rules, rules of conduct, and facility regulations and security. Good manufacturing practices are rules required by the government and customers. Let's take a look at two employees demonstrating good and bad GMP practices. Good manufacturing practices are rules required by the government and customers. At Hearthside, we're helping to feed America, which requires that we all take care and pride in our work. Protective face masks are required at all Hearthside buildings. Masks must be kept clean and must fully cover the mouth and nose. Masks are not required in break rooms while seated at a table with barriers. If you get up from the table, your mask must be on. Employees must maintain 6-foot social distancing at all times, except where approved barriers are in place. Specific examples where social distancing must take place: upon entering the building, while in orientation, while standing in line to get temperatures taken, while putting on PPE, while washing, sanitizing, drying hands, while employees are being checked in, while in restrooms such as washing, drying hands, while in offices, hallways, and meeting rooms, at shift change, in cafeteria when not eating, drinking, on break outside, while in maintenance shop, while in warehouse, while in the QA lab, during on-the-job training, while working on the same line, while training on computers, while troubleshooting equipment issues or other line problems, while making equipment repairs, while in any department. Meetings should not take place unless in an open, non-confined area with 6 feet between all attendees. Meeting room tables must have barriers installed. Exception: if an employee and manager need to meet, they can meet in an office if they are both wearing masks and are separated by an approved protective barrier. There are enhanced PPE requirements for high movement and temp taker positions. That includes face masks, face shields or goggles, and gloves. The temperature taker's role is to identify employees and visitors for secondary screening. Primary responsibilities include look for signs of sickness, asking employee questions, checking body temp with a non-contact thermometer, prevents direct touch of infected materials or individuals by hand washing, sanitizing before and after, and wearing proper PPE.
Washing your hands can help remove and destroy viruses that may be on your hands. Wet your hands and arms with running water that's as hot as you can comfortably stand. Lather up with soap. Then rub your hands and fingers together for at least 20 seconds to give the soap time to work. Scrub your palms and the backs of your hands, and be sure to get between the fingers and around your cuticles. Pay special attention to your fingernails. If a fingernail brush is not available, be sure to rub your fingertips vigorously against the inside of your palms. Remember to scrub for at least 20 seconds. That's longer than you might think. Try counting slowly. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, all the way to 20 to be sure you scrub long enough. Then rinse your hands and arms for at least 5 seconds until all the soap is gone. Dry your hands thoroughly with a paper towel or warm air dryer.
Nails must be kept clean and properly trimmed. Nail polish, glitter makeup, and false eyelashes are not permitted. Employees must maintain a high degree of personal cleanliness. Self-enclosed must be clean. Acceptabilities will be determined at the discretion of management. Please help to keep production, bathroom, and lunchroom areas clean. Gowning procedures must be followed when entering production areas. Wash your hands before going in. Follow posted signs for use of masks, goggles, aprons, sleeves, boots, shoe covers, gloves, and sanitizer. Company-issued clothing and PPE must remain in designated areas and hung on a hook when you leave. Company-issued clothing or PPE is not allowed in bathrooms or break rooms. Be careful what you are touching to avoid contaminating food. Food contact surfaces are places where food touches. For example, tables and conveyors. Non-food contact surfaces are floors, walls, trash cans. If food touches the floor, it must be disposed. Gloves must be worn when handling food products and in food contact areas. Gloves must be intact and clean. Torn or dirty gloves must be disposed of immediately. Remove gloves and dispose when leaving production area. Gloves are a one-time, single-use, and are company issued. Gloves should be changed if they touch a person's face, hair, or anybody else. They should also be changed if a person sneezes, coughs, blows or wipes his or her nose, and anytime someone touches a non-food contact surface such as a door, wall, or trash can. Pay attention to posted signs for the meaning of smock, hairnet, and bin colors. Only use containers for their designated purpose. Makeshift tools and temporary fixes are not allowed. If you need tools, please contact your supervisor. Tools needed to perform job duties are provided to you upon request. Knives, box cutters, wrenches, or other tools from home are not allowed on company premises without written consent from site leadership. Do not touch or move pest control traps. Report any pest activity to your supervisor. If there is a hold placard on product, do not use the product. HACCP is a system that identifies potential food safety hazards and works to reduce or eliminate them before they have a chance to contaminate food. Some of the most common hazards include plastic, metal, or glass that can get mixed into food and hurt someone. Report food safety and quality problems to QA or their supervisors for immediate correction. A communicable disease is an infectious disease that is transmissible from one person to another. Notify your supervisor if you have any of the following symptoms: diarrhea, vomiting, open skin sores or boils, excessive coughing or sneezing, fever, jaundice, infected wounds, sore throat. Working with food, we have to be cautious about food allergies. A food allergen is a food that causes some people's bodies to overreact when they come in contact with it. Common food allergens are eggs, milk, gluten, tree nuts, and peanuts. A serious allergic reaction can cause illness or even death. Now, we will move on to personal safety in our work environment. We take many steps to protect you and ensure you go home safely every day. However, this must be viewed as a mutual responsibility. Our work environment is fast-paced. Many jobs require lifting and rapid movements. Due to the type of work we do, work areas may be very cold or hot. Floors may be wet and slippery. If you are injured at work, no matter how minor, tell your supervisor or agency representative immediately. It's your responsibility to report any and all hazards that you see or are aware of. If you're not trained to touch or handle blood, then you should not clean it up. Report any blood or suspected blood to your supervisor. Ergonomics is the practice of designing tasks and workspaces to coordinate most efficiently with the way our bodies are designed. Basically, ergonomics is about designing or modifying work tasks so that they're done in the best way for how our bodies work physically. Ergonomics has several benefits. To start, it can help to minimize effort, since the task or workspace is meant to fit your body. This in turn can lead to an increase in quality and safety. Ergonomics is also healthy for our bodies and reduces the chances of getting work-related injuries. Applying good ergonomics to our work tasks can also significantly reduce our stress at work, helping us to become more efficient and improve our work performance. Now, let's review proper lifting techniques. Do lift as a team. If something's heavy, do not lift alone. Do turn with legs and do not twist when lifting. Use your legs, not your back. If needed, use equipment like a dolly. Do not try to lift heavy loads alone. For safety reasons, you must wear personal protective equipment in designated areas, which may include safety glasses, hearing protection, or protective gloves and sleeves. Use safe work platforms. Do not stand on pallets. No matter what task you're doing, never walk backwards. Always walk forwards. Be aware of your surroundings and make sure nothing is in your path. This includes when using a pallet jack, moving a garbage container, or shrink wrapping a pallet. When handling pallets, please ensure that you are using proper lifting techniques and doing so in pairs. When stacking pallets, be sure to stack neatly. Manual pallet jacks have the potential to cause injury. Simple steps can be taken to avoid injury. Do not ride on a pallet jack. Do not walk over the forks. Do not operate if you do not know how to use the pallet jack at your site. Do request to be trained if you need more information. Do not operate equipment without training. Do not remove or reach around safety guards. Never operate a machine without safety guards in place. Do not place hands near equipment while in operation. If the safety guards are not working properly or are missing, stop the machine and notify your supervisor immediately. Please note the difference from machine operator controls and emergency stop buttons. Operator controls are used for routine stopping and starting. Emergency stop buttons are used when there's an emergency to stop the equipment quickly. Anyone can push this stop button. Lockout/tagout is a process where authorized personnel remove equipment from operation. A confined space, by definition, is 1. A space large enough for an employee to enter and perform work. 2. A space that has limited or restricted means for entry or exit. 3. The space is not designed for continuous occupancy. Do not enter any space that is considered a confined space within your facility unless you have been trained and authorized to do so. There are forklifts in the facilities. Forklifts move very quickly, carrying materials throughout the plant. Look around carefully before walking into and through a forklift traffic area. Stay in pedestrian aisles where designated. You cannot operate a forklift, walk-around tool or vehicles, walkie trucks, or power hand trucks unless you are certified through the company. Under no circumstances should you ever walk over these machines or tools. Evacuation maps are located throughout the building. In the event of an emergency, you'll hear an alarm and you should follow the instructions provided. Report any smoke or fire to a supervisor immediately. Only use a fire extinguisher if you're trained to do so. This is a secured facility. Never prop open doors. If you see suspicious activity, notify your supervisor immediately. Your facility has evacuation areas designated for all disaster situations. Please follow your site's precautions and safety protocol to ensure the safety of yourself and your peers. If you have any questions, please contact your supervisor or agency representative. Ammonia is used to cool some facilities and with exposure can cause adverse health effects such as shortness of breath. The company has an extensive process safety management program which is in place to minimize risk. Warnings for ammonia will vary by site. Please ensure that you follow your site's evacuation protocol regarding ammonia safety. We just covered several safety topics. Your safety is important to us. Next, we will review the company's expectations in regards to our rules of conduct. You must perform your job duties while at work, meet work standards, comply with workplace rules, and conduct yourself appropriately and professionally at all times. Please adhere to these safety rules and GMPs. Theft or deliberate damage of Hearthside property, violation of harassment policy, reporting to work under the influence of drugs and or alcohol, possessing drugs and or alcohol, guns, knives, weapons, explosives, etc. on Hearthside property, including parking lots, insubordination, horseplay, smoking outside permitted areas, leaving work area without permission, conducting and soliciting non-company business during working time. The company will not tolerate violence or threats of violence in the workplace. All threats will be investigated. The company will take prompt remedial action up to and including dismissal against any employee who engages in any threatening behavior or acts of violence. We need your help to keep this facility clean, safe, and operating at the highest levels of excellence. If you have any questions, please speak with your supervisor or agency representative.